Hello, my name is Elvis, and I want to talk a little bit about our experience with embedding eazyBI analytics in ERP products. I'm CTO of flex.bi, which is a white label eazyBI partner, and we specialize in a little bit different data sets. So ERP world, CRM data, invoices, orders, stock, and other less exciting things as developing new software and releasing it, but not for accountants. They are happy with this part of the world, and so we try to help mostly CFOs, accountants, and CEOs to understand how their business is doing using eazyBI as an engine for that. And why? So we have been doing this for I don't know, 7 years or so, and we were playing obviously on these both parts. So the ERP side, so the business application that generates the data, and the flex.bi or eazyBI service to analyze the data. What we have found is that this works nice for bigger customers, but the smaller customers who also want to use ERP and also want to understand how their companies are doing, they are more reluctant to actually go with like a full-blown BI implementation and so on. And so that's where embedded analytics comes together, because it joins the business application and the BI platform. I mean, as you know from using Jira Cloud, for example, and basically embedding reports there, for example, that makes the access and usability much more easier, right? And just to paint you a picture, so you can see here, so we embedded the flex.bi in a tool called StandardBooks, which is an ERP software used in Estonia and Latvia quite widely. And you can see there, no, you can't. What is that? Now you can. So you can see there's, for example, a very boring item card describing the item details and some invoice journal report, which is used by accountants and other people to understand some operational data, what they have to do today, tomorrow, or something like that. But where we come in is you can see then also an item card there with embedded report, which instantly gives them obviously a bit of color and possibility to compare instantly with other periods of time, how this item or item group or whatever is doing, and compare different measures and other things that are very much not possible with built-in ERP reporting, which is not meant for that. So yeah, so what are the benefits is easier access. So it's not just those couple of people who are on the C-level suite or managing finance, but every user that is using ERP can access the reports, and that sort of democratizes the benefits, I think. Better layouts and visuals, because they don't have to parse through numbers and letters, but they can just glance at the report and understand how they or an item or something else is doing at the moment. Advanced calculations, so we can calculate things like advanced purchase or comparison, or a trend, for example, for item turnover over time, or things like that, which are not possible in normal ERP reports. And they can interact with the reports, so doing all the things that eazyBI can do well, drilling, adding calculations, exporting to various formats, and so on. And last but not least, definitely, is that it gives those, it allows to make the first steps for those users who are sort of afraid from this big word business intelligence. and just sort of very naturally see the reports in their normal daily environment and increase their sort of data literacy and things like that. So how we did it, a more technical description. Raymond was talking that they developed features for a year or two. We first started to think about this 6 years ago. And for various reasons, it wasn't possible until now. So what we did is we are using we have created report templates for specific parts of the system where they need to appear. And those are carefully made so that they, at the current moment, so that they work with for operational people that just need to quickly understand how they are doing in this month or the last month, compare various things like profit, turnover, average invoice amount, let's say, or compare performance of different salespeople and things like that. And they can very quickly open this with one click, instantly get this report or dashboard, and understand how the business is doing. So how we achieve that is that users can actually click one button inside the ERP, and that magically almost sets up their system and sets up our flex.bi system in a way that a new account is created with all the connection details, tokens, and whatever technical things that needed to be communicated before amongst 3 parties and so on. So it was a bit of a mess, and now all of that is happening automatically. Account is created, and we are using the template account functionality that eazyBI has. We have one template account, let's say, for Estonians and one for Latvians, and based on the country, we just populate the reports and dashboards from this template account. And then we use the, again, built-in feature of embedding dashboards and reports using a token, and we push these generated links to the ERP software. And then suddenly, instead of template reports with demo data, they get their own reports with their real data built into item cards, customer cards, and just generally, let's say here, a dashboard as well with that you saw before. And some nifty things that we also used from eazyBI is that the reports are actually, there's just one report, for example, for item group, but if you open or change different item group cards, then those reports are filtered automatically so that the correct item group is selected, for example, but at the same time you can select a different item group, go back and forth and do things like that. So this uses the selected page feature of that is possible with embedded reports and dashboards. And then we also we wanted to automate this process as much as possible because these are small customers paying very little money for this service and wanting to make a lot of trials and so on, and we don't want to sit and do things manually. And from the almost very beginning, we understood that it would be a good idea, that it would be smart to not assume that we will know how the workflow and the needed or the consequences of setting this all up will work. So we are using, we made an integration basically between eazyBI and make.com, which is a platform that allows to build integration workflows in this visual way. And so, for example, here you can see that whenever a new account is created, then we send emails to all the necessary parties. We store trial requests or account requests or whatever in, let's say, Google Sheets. We add them to email newsletters so that we can actually communicate with the users automatically and so on. And all of this happens automatically without any human labor. And this proved to be a very good approach, because constantly, our partners will say, oh, we also need an email there, or we also need to do this, or we also need to do that. And we can very quickly, without changing anything in the eazyBI code, fulfill those wishes and needs. And then why Google Sheets? I mean, it wasn't. It isn't like a. It's a bit of a trial, right? How the market will receive this new idea and approach. So we didn't want to build some serious backend for let's say managing these customers, but at the same time we want to know how many of customers want this, how many of the customers keep using it, and things like that. So we just store all of this information in Google Sheets, and then obviously import this into flex.bi or eazyBI, and we can easily then monitor how we are doing, how our marketing and sales activities are performing, and things like that. So what are some of the lessons learned? That using make.com is a very good idea. More and more I see that in the IT world, actually, there are even some tools that don't even offer REST API anymore. They just say, okay, use Zapier or make.com integration, because it just takes away so much of the integration hassle. And then think about statistics maybe before you start the project, not after it. That is something we learn from our mistakes. Security can be tricky with embedding. In this particular case, we, for example, found out that with template accounts, if something is shared, then if you use the same template account, then the same token is used. And so in theory, one customer could access reports from other customers just by changing the account number in the URL, which is something called Neo attack in Latvia. There was a famous hacker who downloaded loads of documents just by changing numbers in the URL. So yeah, with embedding, just be aware that who can actually see the URL and who can access it, and what access does it give. And again, last but not least, that eazyBI, as you saw, had almost all the tools that we needed to make this integration. It was actually technically quite easy to do something like that. Very automated and sort of very seamless. The only sort of technical thing that we were missing was only this make.com webhook, basically. That was easy enough to do because, I mean, it's Ruby on Rails, and that wasn't hard enough at all. Yeah, that wasn't hard enough, actually, yeah, for Mix it wasn't, yeah. So, yeah, yeah, that's our experience.